Yo, what's going on? How everybody doing this wonderful Sunday? Hopefully everybody is doing well this weekend. Oh wow, we got a bunch of people waiting already. What's up, Banner? What's up, Frank? Wiz, the homie, Primitive Morse,
What's
Sammy.
up, Wiz?
Good, what's
What's up,
good, what's
Banner?
good?
There is
So
quite a few in the chat.
yeah,
Sammy
everybody.
the Bull.
Yep. So this week actually reached out to Darren, and Darren reached out to Jose. Um, I can honestly say getting into the social media side of it, looking at some of the effort that he's putting forth with Edge of Panic is very impressive. I'm looking at everything. When I look at the channel, I look at the background, the logo, how he presents himself, his audio, video, his lighting, everything is coming in awesome when I'm watching his lives. The way he interacts is all about the snakes, all about the information. I'm truly impressed by him and with the direction he's going in.
Yes.
It's awesome. And I kind of figured it would go that way when you start digging a little bit and find out he's into bodybuilding. He was into the dog game. And Darren and myself being from the dog game, we knew how it was with the dog game.
Oh
Kind of got to
yeah.
put yourself out there. And it's right up there in the neck of woods with Darren over there in
Yeah.
Cali.
One of the biggest things I've noticed is that we talked about this before is his drive, his commitment. He's going forward to doing everything.
Right.
Especially with his content. His
Oh,
content
no.
is big.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I really feel like, he's gonna grow really fast. He probably not gonna surprise himself because I'm sure he sees himself growing really fast. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on Jose. Homie,
What's up?
What's
what's
up?
Thanks for
good?
having me. Thanks for having me.
Man, anytime. So just tell us a little bit about how you even got started with ball pythons. And I know you were in the dog game, but how you got started with ball pythons?
Yeah. So first, appreciate the intro. That's a sweet intro. But yeah, I'm putting in work. So I got started. I was actually looking at pictures from back in 15, 16 on my Facebook, and man, I had some snakes that I just did not know what I had. But
Yeah, that happens. Wait, we lost them. We lost them.
oh, hold on. There it is. I don't know what this says. But back then I was part of the dogs, and in the dogs, I don't know what it was. I actually don't know how I got into snakes per se, but what I did see was the super disco clown.
Mm-hmm.
And when I don't even know how I seen it. I think someone in the dog world was into reptiles. I've been part of pet keeping because I had iguanas back in the day. I've had dogs since I can remember. My dad had dogs. We were in German Shepherds and we're Latino, so he's Mexican. And we had Chihuahuas and shit, the little yappy dogs. But growing up, it's always been part of the life. The iguana was the first actual reptile that I was able to have because my parents did not like snakes at all. So I had to convince them something to get me in the door, and iguana was the one. But I remember catching snakes back in, I was like 8 years old. We used to go camping, so I'd catch the little water snakes that were in there, and I'd bring them back, and people were all scared and shit, put them back. But in the ball pythons, I think it was the super disco clown that got me hooked. And after that, you start doing research, you start reading, you start looking, you start everything that entails, right? Like right now, the beautiful thing that is right now is morph market, right?
Yes.
And back then we didn't have that. So like you have to find some obscure website or some board over here and read about some things, and people didn't have a whole bunch of information. And
it was kingsnake.com. That was
King
like
Snake,
my
fauna.
spot to keep going back and checking. And I was looking every day, so
yeah. Fauna was a big one. There was some boards that I was also on as well, kind of like the MSN boards for the dog game. They had some boards back in the day for snakes as well that I'd be on, and and even back then it wasn't all that serious, but I was still on them, just cruising like I do Morph Market every day now anyway. Looking at now the thing that messed me up about Morph Market is the auctions. Now I'm on there even more. Okay, let me see what's going on. Oh, what's going on? What do they got there? Oh, it's ending in a couple hours. Like,
it's crazy because you end up, normally you're looking for a project, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when it is the auction, it's whatever. So you're seeing anything that will fit into your program, and if it has that good price tag and you can bid up, start bidding. Some of that stuff, is going for cheap. It's going for cheap. But I've seen some stuff. I'm like, oh, it went over market value.
Went over market value. Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's the whole gambling experience of I'm gonna win the snake. I'm gonna win the snake. No matter what. Which
I don't even gamble
directly.
I don't even gamble, and that's
exactly. Me either. I don't gamble. It's funny you say that. Vending Tinley, we do like mystery boxes, and honestly, it was more targeted toward the new keeper, new interest, level into getting kind of them in. But what we were running into when we first started vending was you'll get a new person come and they'll ask you a ton of questions, and that's not a problem. But then they'll stay there and they're so indecisive because it's so mind-blowing getting into it, and they've already made their mind up that they're going to buy something. They already made that up. But now for the next 4 or 5 hours, they're trying to see which one. So doing the mystery boxes, you kind of playing on the side of 90% of Americans like to gamble. And they're like, okay, you know what? The decision has already been made for me. I'm getting all kinds of goodies in this box. I'm just going to go with the mystery box. And they wipe us out every single time we do the mystery boxes. But it's even getting funny now because if I'm going to the table or if I'm purchasing, I want to know exactly what I want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the other side of it. Like, I don't gamble. So I think it's a cool concept and we do it, but I wouldn't be a customer of that. I want to buy specifically what I want as a breeder. And I say that because we still even get breeders come over and buy mystery boxes.
Well, and that's the thing, that even when I first got started, I was about the dinkers. Dinkers were what I want, even though I was looking at Outback for the longest time, and getting one of their bags. Right. Like, oh, should I do it? Should I do it? You talk about indecisive. I was like, should I do it? Yeah, no. I never did it, but I wanted to.
Right. It comes down to that 50-50 chance. Like, you're like, okay, I can get this real cheap and it can be something for me. It can hit, I can win.
Right.
Or it not be anything, and then that's it. And then I just have the normal.
So let me ask you, Jose.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know now.
Yeah.
Got the opportunity, and we'll go through all of it, but you'll go first. You're gonna buy from Outback. And you see two insane, identical, unnamed mystery genes, but you see that it's something, and you choose either male or female. What are you gonna go for and why?
I'd go for male.
You go for male.
No female. So and a bunch of people have covered this already. I think you've covered it. I've talked to Darren about this. It's like a male, you can hurry up and breed. You can breed to X amount of females. A female, you're gonna sit there and wait for it to grow up to then maybe breed. Like I'm sitting on a female now that I think she's almost 5 years old, has yet to breed for me. I thought she went this year, but this year. I thought she was gonna have eggs and she didn't. And she's my Trojan fire head clown. And I was she didn't go. So a male, 100% male. I'm going for male.
I know Darren's a male. Darren likes male too.
Man, because I have that female. I had her for 7 years before she laid for me. I made sure I got 2 clutches out of her, and she sold. She's out of here.
I think for my explanation on it, if I was just strictly wanting to have fun and create some cool stuff, then I can understand it. But as a business, in a small business, it's like it's different. If I had the collection like most of the big dogs have, you know, where it's a Justin or it's an Ozzy, where legitimately I got 15 females that are $5,000-$10,000 breeders that are probably not even going to be bred this year because I don't have enough males. Yeah, I get having that new male at that point, but being that most of pretty much all my females are going to be accounted for by badass males already, and I would still have to go female because I'm always going to err on the side of it's just a cool looking snake that's not going to turn into it, and hope that it does. But if it does long term game, I'm still sitting better because I'm also not saying, hey, I'm going to, it's like now, it's like taking single gene ABC gene and I'm going to breed her to two Pompeys. And it's like, why am I going to make het clown Pompey? It's like, I just can't see taking that away from something that I know is a defined area because you got to look at the curve. That new gene is not really going to be horribly expensive. I mean, it's really not until you figure it out, put in a few different things, see what it actually does. Still going to be a couple years, even with it being a male. But then after you determine, look at stranger and stuff like that. When you determine that, hey, this is genetic, this is a gene, and now you push it out there, you can show it in this combo, that combo, then that purchase curve goes up. And then you solidify yourself by letting a few big people come and buy it from you, and then you're kind of off and running. I would rather ease myself into that because you can also end up on the other side where you breed all these high, powerful females to it, and it don't end up being anything, which is fine. You still have some powerful hats and things out of those breedings, but you're going down the other lane, which is going down and not up. It's interesting.
No, and totally understand that point now. So now thinking about it, right? You're like, okay, well, right. You have to think about where you're at in your journey. And regardless of even that, even small breeding. Now maybe I'll flip. Right now I'll say female because I have a powerful enough male to throw to her,
right?
To put things into whatever it is. But the only thing with the I would say male is you can figure it out by breeding it to something either less or not as powerful of a female, but then you risk not putting everything you want to put into that project if it is a real project.
Right.
So, man, I don't know. Now I'm on the fence. Damn it. I could go female.
But it makes, and that's why I like it because it's not a push in any direction. It's just throwing information out there. Some people will be hardcore male or female, either way, but then it makes you think. You got to receive the information so you can process it. Because you know, actually, KG and I we talked quite a bit on the topic. Actually, shout out to KG in the comments now. But we're on the same line when it comes to getting started. You know, we talk about it all the time when we see each other, and it's like, hey, you know, what do you start with when you get in the game? Now I'm also the opposite when you get started, because when you get started, I'm saying males all day. But it's very specific males. You want to go out there and get your powerhouses, whatever you're interested in. You know, if you know, and it could be anything. It could be DG, hypo, clown, whatever. If you're into those projects, jump as deep as you possibly can go. You know, whatever you can go. And then get your females and surround that program. That's similar to how we kind of did with our business plan. You know, when you get those, yes, go out. If you know you want triple het females with codoms, go out and buy them as babies, grow them out. You know, you get 3 or 4 of them and you achieve whatever quota you set for yourself. And then out of nowhere, you see a morph market auction where you got a pod, triple or double het, or you got a pod het and they're breeders. You snatch those up too now, because now you can get them breeding ahead of your own schedule. You know, so we built everything around our males in hopes of obviously producing more nicer females. Use those males for 5 years. Hopefully you can stretch it that long if you got that nice of a male before you have to buy a new male to move forward.
Yeah, agree 100%. Yep. And he was on the live talking about it too on one of my lives. And I mean, it gets you thinking about it, right? Because man, I never even thought about it in those terms.
Right.
And then he's talking about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes 100% sense. Yeah, jump on a male, get him as big as you can. Like I was lucky where the clown, my spotnose disco clown, smile more, Darren. The spotnose disco clown, he grew up and he's a stud. Like you put him tending and he breeds, but that's not all males. So and I've been lucky with males up until this one that I have, which is a project male. And yeah, if he breeds, I don't know, because I've never seen him breed. So it's like, okay, so yeah, that makes sense. You want to get a male, grow him up as quickly as possible, and see if he's going to hopefully be that stud for you. So yeah, that makes sense. And yeah.
So what is your main genes you like him running with? I know you like disco.
Disco is going to be my main gene, like as far as just a codom, simple codom is disco. So what I have now, I'm on the gravel versus asphalt. So I'm on gravel.
You know, with that, it's more of I couldn't decide. I use both, and I'm trying to get both of them in the clown, and I'm making supers for both. It's going that route.
I just didn't. So, and it's funny because I didn't want the unknowns of gravel versus asphalt, and I like gravel. I like asphalt too. Don't get me wrong. But more people are moving towards the asphalt, and I wanted to go towards the gravel. It's the only reason I went gravel. Leopard, I like red stripe. Vanilla's in the collection, all by accident, but I'm okay with that as well. I have Trojan, which it just happened to be another happy accident. And
hey, you know what? Speaking of that, though, throwing Banner, what's up, Banner, out there with the male, female, doesn't really matter. But like you said, sometimes you have things happen in your collection where you end up with genes that pop up and things you end up working. That's another reason, you know, for me, it kind of pins you in the corner. If you buy a male for a plan that you come up with and you start searching for what you're going to have, you know, mates and breed and work toward for your production, it kind of gives you a better vision on what you should be looking for. I've seen when we started off as well, buying a female where we knew we were going to end up in that project, and then it ends up that it's cool, we just got an extra female, and it's never bad to have an extra female in theory, even if she doesn't fit in the program, because value wise, even when you sell some of your ex breeders or some of your babies, we had set into play, which is we're kind of working with it at the moment, but we try to adjust our business plan, and moving into our second season this year, we set a standard of our females had to have a minimum, if they were non-recessive, no hets, anything, they had a minimum of 4 incomplete dominant genes to kind of own a place still here. And what I ran into, we had 2 females that we got up the size, they're ready to breed, and no recessives in them. So it's like, do you bite the bullet and say, hey, I'm gonna get one breeding out of them? We didn't. We just said, hey, we have to stick with the plan. Yes, you spent money. Yes, you grew them out, but now you're moving forward because they don't fit in the plan. So it's in the way things kind of move forward in this eye open. There's going to be some mistakes made.
How many genes did those females have?
3.
3?
Yeah, 3. One for sure. She's like 1,700 grams. She's a fire cinnamon bongo. She'll be going on Morph Market this week.
Fire cinnamon bongo.
Yep.
Now,
so I'll go for it.
Why wouldn't you use that female? Because bongo's underrated right now. Like, I really think people just put that on the shelf because once they've seen it in pastel and clown, they're like, nope.
Because we had to evaluate it because it's not just which genes. We got to look at it like we have a finite amount of breeder space at the end of the day. And you say, hey, you don't want to grow out of control where you're just constantly buying more and more racks, expanding. We want to expand the smart way. And if we're already working on triple and quadruple recessives and working that lane, and we set in place, this is going to be the game plan, you're going to have some outliers where it's like, all right, how is this going to fit? And that it just didn't fit. We already have bongo in other combos and females that's working, and we just had to move forward. We just had to cut it and keep it moving. If we started doing that and saying, "Oh, well, I like bongo," and you tie yourself to a gene because of the gene, then the whole business plan gonna fall apart. And I'll be 12 years in the game, finally selling my single gene inchy females.
Ah, hey, that's all right. They moving though.
Everybody, that's a dad. Shout out to Jerry. He doing
I'm
sales over there, but yeah, he just moved out of single gene inchy female.
Hey, but as it turns out, it's what we all know, right? A lot of the people in the industry, it's discipline. Discipline is something we need to have, regardless of how pretty that fucking snake is, right? Or
especially going to different projects, because you will. It's hard to say no when you have an addiction. You know? So when you see something and it is crazy, you're like, "Oh man, hey, I could do something with that."
Yeah.
But you got to say no because it doesn't fit in your projects.
Right. And that's the discipline. But we know the discipline, like from wrestling, from bodybuilding, like we know the discipline is just we got to practice that discipline.
Yeah, and so that's what it is. That's all it boils down to, you know, and holding yourself accountable, you know, and not giving any excuses, because there are like excuses written into the business. It's like we have a couple genes where it's like, okay, well, if you have this, then it will stay. For instance, what's the name of it? Damn it.
It's a gene?
Yeah, it's a gene. I just got it from Hardwire last year. Shoot. Hold on. Let's see.
Tragic.
Like tragic. If I got a tragic female, you know, that would stay, you know, because these are new genes. If I have, you know, for instance, I was talking about the stages of a new gene, you know, we talking about Outback. Man, they're amazing. You know, I love what they're doing. But at the same time, it's like, at what level, you know, being new, having a hard time IDing snakes, you know, whether I love constructive criticism. I welcome all of it. I try to correct myself. I write whatever wrongs I put out there. And that's part of the reason for putting together this channel. We want to have a kind of safe space where it's not where you just attack people. Like, what's your point in attacking? Is it to correct something that was wrong? Is it to educate, you know, and inform, you know? And that's me. I love to get all the information in. But sometimes, depending on where you go, you have, I guess you say clicks, you know, hey, I like Gene, you know, I like Lesser, you know, I don't like anybody that's working with butter. It's the same gene, you know, in theory, but you have that. And I don't really think that it should be a space in the industry for that, you know, and that's my opinion, you know, but I think if you have proof that, you know, hey, this does this with this combo and this does something different with the counterpart. Yeah. Cool, show it, educate people, and you know, put the information out there. I like that more so than kind of the constant bickering and arguing. Because honestly, let's be honest, you know, we see a lot of this unprofessional behavior and this, that, and the third. But when people see each other in person, nothing happens.
Yep. Yep. Hey, but do you kind of see the parallels between the dog world and the snake world in that sense, right? Where you have clicks.
In the dog world was different.
They're gang. They ain't clicks, they're gang.
Dog world, they going to jail. They going to jail that day.
I was talking to Darren too about the nationals, and they had this huge brawl at the nationals, and it's like, man, what are you guys doing? Are you guys showing dogs? Are you guys trying to claim something?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's because of, you know, the term keyboard gangsters.
Yep.
You know, that was real. Well, now you got people that were pretty much gang affiliated. Now they have something they could drive for where they can make money that's not dope money. And then you're bringing that in there. And then so you say something and then you're saying it online. Guess what? Now I want to see you. I'm gonna
Right.
test you out. Let's test
And
your
it shouldn't
gangster
be
out.
that way. It really shouldn't be that way. And Limey said Limey's an OG, man. I got a lot of respect for Limey. I like what Limey does.
Yep.
Beautiful displays of snakes. He talks down upon some of his collection. He loves some of his Blackhead, everything. But Limey is extremely genuine person.
Yep.
He's cut and dry when it comes down to the actual business of things, and I love that. But here it is. I mean, he to me is one of the OGs. You got to think about Ozzy and Justin. All those guys talk about him, and he still finds time to make it to this small channels live and be a part of it and input. It's really, really cool to have that from an experienced breeder that's seen so much, and kind of welcome you into their area.
I love what Limey posts, but I just need to know what's in there when I ask the question.
I think that's a lot of the older breeders where they'll post a beautiful snake, but they won't. Even LeBest does it, and they won't tell you what was in it. They won't tell you.
Yeah, like that to me, I'm like, well, if you have, and I think I was talking to Jen about this too. If you have that snake, you already have stuff like to make it. It's gonna take a long time.
Yeah,
so just tell us what's in it. Tell us small peasants over here what's in it, please.
It's more of those bigger established breeders. I get it. They're trying not to really actually show what it is. But,
all right.
Us small people, there's more of us.
But I wouldn't be able to get there. You have to buy all the ingredients, then you have to wait for it, and then you have to put it together. So it's like, and I already know that what you and I already know that what you already have stuff ahead of that. So it's not like
you think
even what was that?
Respect.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna shoot you next time I see something. I'm shooting
you.
Because I say something under your post, but I don't know if you really actually see it, But on especially on IG, I'm always scrolling on IG. So as soon as I see something, I'm messaging. What is that?
So if you had to choose between fire and vanilla, which one would you be rocking with?
Oh, vanilla, 100%.
Vanilla. Is it a reason?
Yeah. So what I see in fire is what I don't like in fire is kind of the it's like the jagged edges of the and how it grows in time. As an adult, it doesn't look as impressive as it does as a baby. And maybe vanilla kind of the same. And even disco in single gene might be the same, but I don't like that. It looks vanillas and discos are just cleaner. So I like vanillas because they're cleaner. Edge pattern is just a lot softer than what I see fires do. Fires seem to be a little more like what Yellow Belly does in Pied, where you get the jagged edges on the saddles. Fire does that in the single gene, and I like a little more cleaner, softer look.
Now, yeah, Bon Product said, obviously staying clear of the white snakes. Very, very true. I might be off, but you can't visually single gene for single gene. You can't tell the difference between all three, can you?
Oh, shit, I'll show you a disco. You can see the difference. I'll show you vanilla. And I don't have a single gene vanilla, but I have a single gene disco that there's no you will not mistake it for a normal.
Really?
You'll definitely not mistake it for a fire at all.
Oh wow.
Okay. So because they always put fire or disco on there, or vanilla,
right.
So because all three of them are really the same, or interacting or allelic. So the biggest way that I like the way Jason broke it down. He broke it down. It's disco, fire, and vanilla are kind of like gravel, asphalt, and
Yellow Belly.
Yes. So think about it. Yeah, it is. Because of the vanilla, how it interacts with other genes. If it's more of a brightening gene, or which one is really actually comes out darker. So asphalt's a darker gene. So that works.
Here, let me show you this disco, and you tell me. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
This is a super nice example of a disco.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look like a fire at all. It's darker.
Yeah. The darks are darker. I'll show you the flaming. Do you see the head?
Yeah.
Right. That's. I mean, kind of. Some fires have that same head. But I'll show you the.
And what is it? Just disco? Is it anything?
This one is head clown.
Okay.
But if you look at the damn, which way do these go?
Wow.
That's a single gene disco. If you look at the tails are nice, and the tails do similar things as the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it just looks like, in my opinion, just looks cleaner, like a cleaner edging all the way around.
Wow.
Yeah. The flaming is nice. Right. And this in a super form, I like it. I like it a lot. But yeah, it has yeah, it's and in the single gene disco, you don't see them this nice.
Right.
I don't know why this one came out this way.
Maybe it's the head influence.
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe so. But I have another disco head clown, and she's grown, and she looks pretty normal. Hold on.
Keeping quality. Oh, that's a new wave. I just seen that, Nixon. I seen that puzzle sunset. They posted again from Chile. Wow.
See stuff. Yeah. Definitely.
That works good. Spotnose disco works really well. Yeah, a lot of the vanilla disco stuff that I have with genes in it work really, really well. I have a vanilla disco that arguably can have something else in it, but I don't know. It looks like a pied. People have asked me if it's pied, and I'm like, no, that's a poor man's pied. That's a non-recessive pied.
Well, I mean, now you can't even say that because, like, pies are $200.
I was about to say that.
Yeah,
it's not the same price now.
Now, yeah, they're like
that was years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that is showing the head influence, definitely.
Yeah, and that's very well what it could be. That one could be showing the head. I have another disco female, same, just a disco head clown female, and she's 1,200 grams or 1,300 grams, but she looks like a nice normal.
He says she looks a nice normal. So the most anticipated clutch for 2024 or breeding pairing is what?
Most anticipated. I have a leopard red stripe, and he's a double het. He's clown pied. Clown desert ghost. He's breeding to a vanilla disco het clown.
Oh wow. Okay. Vanilla disco het clown. So you're definitely running a lot of disco throughout the whole collection.
Oh yeah, no. I held back in this one clutch. I held back 3 females, and they're all vanilla disco combos. At the very least, they're vanilla disco het clowns.
Yeah.
But 2 of them. Shout out to the farmer.
Shout out, you know it.
But one of them at the very least is a vanilla disco, and let me see if I can. Let me see. She's. Look, I'll show you one of them.
All right.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of entry level people getting in. You know, even though they don't have really kind of apply a direction they want to go, but
right. Oh wow.
That's for all. I it could be a vanilla disco entry. Because of what's happening on the sides here, they're all connected. It's kind of uniform in how it's connected. And she's And she's out of these three, these are all the three clutch mates that I have. She's
Right.
the slowest growing one out of the bunch. But the best one out of the bunch is the biggest one out of the bunch.
Yeah.
But that's a vanilla disco head right there. And I mean, it's interesting. Like, I guess entry, you should be able to see some in the stripes, and the stripes are thicker than what you would normally see.
Right.
Hard to see, but you see that whole stripe down the side of the neck right there.
Yeah, definitely.
It's all connected. But anyways, this is at the very least a vanilla disco.
Mm-hmm.
But she has way more pattern than just a normal vanilla disco.
Right.
But if you see, right, this is almost an adult, right? And the brightness, the cleanness, it's still there.
Right.
And this is so you asked me what I don't like about the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, she's all stained. So when I see them at this age or a little bit bigger, they tend to speckle.
Mm-hmm.
In the yellows get
kind
the
of
yellows get that muddied up speckly look, where the vanilla discos stay clean.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to produce. And when I put that into the clown, I wanted to keep that nice creamy clean look to them rather than the speckling.
Definitely. No, I definitely see that. KG was saying you pay them your own way, on your own path, and that's what you got to do. I think that's what we preach. Pick something. There's so many options.
Many
options. Even as person that got so many snakes, you can really choose one lane, and you still won't have enough space to really work in that lane. So it's like just however you decide to build your collection, your likes, your dislikes. Some of your dislikes gonna be other people's likes, and that is perfect. Fine.
That's okay. But then it comes down to like so we talk about the dog game, and I like referencing the dog game because in the dog game we did a lot of line breeding.
Yeah.
I've done inbreeding in the dog game, and that shit went south.
Really?
So
did it?
Yeah. Well, so in Razor's Edge you have Dozer Daisy, right?
Yeah.
If you guys remember Dozer Daisy, and I was heavy, so I stuck to the Dozer Daisy side of things. That was that's what I wanted to focus on. But I had this female and I bred her to her dad. What happened is there was like heart murmurs in there.
Mm-hmm.
And when I bred them, I doubled up, and the pup that I had only lived to 6 months.
Oh wow.
He ended up dying of a severe heart murmur.
Yep.
So it's like
that's one of the things about inbreeding, and kind of even line breeding will do the same thing. So there's certain genetics that are flawed. You might double up, but then sometimes you might not, and it depends. It just, if it goes bad.
I mean,
exactly
the same way probably goes toward the snake game. I'm sure if you have obviously lethal combinations and things like that, I'm sure it's going to be genetic anomalies where certain genes just don't genetically mix well with others, and I don't know, maybe the survival rate or thriving rate is lower than others. I mean, it's something to look.
Daisy was big. It was big. That was like probably one of the two top dogs that everybody was really line breeding. But the thing is that when you line bred that bloodline, you got body structure, you got good bone.
Yeah.
But you were getting that muzzle. And
no,
trying to move away from that muzzle.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I was trying to avoid, right? And I did well because none of my dogs were real snipey and they didn't have long ass muzzles. Yeah, even though they came from it, but breeding in a way to highlight some of the other features rather than the. But same thing with snakes, right? Because we have to line breed in order to hone in. Like, this is what Aussie does, and this is what a lot of the big breeders do, and they have that ability to do so because they have the snakes and then they just keep on going, and they get it tighter and tighter. And not saying that it's super tightly line bred, but they get a gene, and they're super breeding that gene, and then they get the nicest out of that gene. Then you have the Aussies of the world who have this high OD or what, that's not even a super orange dream, but it looks something crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's where I'm trying to go. That's why I do purposely try to focus on certain genes, which the vanilla is fine. I like the vanilla being in the gene pool, but the disco is really what I really want to see, because the disco is that brightening gene that's a lot of people don't realize that it could be something like a desert ghost or a brightening gene like that, like lace, for example.
Right.
It's that type of brightening gene.
So 1, 2, 3, you would go disco, vanilla, and then fire, pretty much.
And then which one?
Fire.
Yeah, fire's third for sure. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I have fire in the collection. She should have laid a clutch for me, but I guess I don't like the super fires necessarily. Right. If I were to pick a super out of the three, it'd be disco. Same thing, disco, vanilla, and then fire. I think they're just too dominant in the super form. Like for me to do anything mind blowing with the super form, or I haven't seen it. Maybe it is possible, but I haven't seen anything in the super fire form.
Right.
Where I would want to go down that avenue.
No, makes sense.
No, there hasn't. Hey, you just end up with a white snake. I haven't seen anybody say, "Oh, look, it's super fire and it has pattern." I haven't seen that yet. I mean,
something
it could be
crazy
out there, but yeah.
So, your favorite recessive that you're working with, is it going to be clown?
Clown is definitely the base.
Okay.
Yeah, clown is the base. Clown is something like for me, you can't lose. I like the amount of pattern that clown has.
Right.
And years ago we were trying to go towards a blade, trying to go towards reducing the clown pattern. I was not on that train. I like the clown pattern.
Blade and itchy. They're doing it.
Yeah, they were like married, and I'm like, nah, that's not the business. Like that wasn't the business for me. And what I wanted was more of the spotnose clown, where you threw a bunch of the pattern in there, and it really, really, really over patterned the snake. That's what I like. So clown for sure. I have desert ghost. I have pied. But I already have the poor man's pied, so should I double up on the pied gene? Recessive and a dominant.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit.
But gotta go that route. That's where the market, the industry's changing now. Now, how do you feel about kind of following the market versus following your own path?
Yeah, no, I don't care about following the market. I'm not buying genes to. I'm not buying snakes to necessarily sell. I think it's like that movie, right? If you build it, they will come. If you build a nice enough snake, they will follow. Right. I'm not if I'm and people have talked about this extensively as well. If I'm trying to follow something, like, and we even talked about this a minute ago. If I'm trying to follow what that snake that you posted, the I think Darren posted the extremist, the super extremist. I'm trying to, if I'm
major controversy right now, but
but if I'm trying to follow that snake, they're already 4 years ahead of me, 5 years ahead of me, and I'm starting at base 0. And if again, they've talked about this too, is like you're following that. By the time I get there, the market's already dipped. You've bought in at this super expensive price point to begin with, and then you sell it at a loss. You're like, I'd rather blaze my own path where if I make something nice enough, at least I'll like it. And at the end of the day, I'll be happy. And if people follow, fine. Like my business venture in the reptiles isn't necessarily in the snakes. I've talked about this too, where I have something coming up in the next month or two that I'll be releasing. It's a website. I think it'll be huge for the reptile community. It's going to be huge. That's where my focus is on right now. I love the snakes and I do the snakes, but at the moment, the expansion in the snakes, it'll expand naturally. It'll expand because of the clutches coming out. And of course, I don't stop. Like I already have 3 geckos, and a few weeks ago I didn't have any. Like, so it's like I'm in geckos, and I'm like, that's right. So it's not like I'm stopping. Don't get me wrong, I'm not stopping. It's just
right.
The focus now shifts to more of a business mindset, but not in the business of something else, something that can be automated, that'll bring in revenue, that'll allow me to grow in the snakes the way I want to grow in the snakes.
No, that makes
That's
sense.
a good avenue because you know that you can make money while you're sleeping. It's constantly
Exactly.
like taking us in a different lane. You know,
Yep.
a lot of people have their own lane. Some are just doing podcasts. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So and I've hinted at this before, but it's something. It's really for like the geckos and all these other reptiles, but it's definitely going to help the ball python community, because in the ball python community, what I've heard a lot more in recent times, and this was on Irresistible Balls, Nikki's podcast yesterday, where they were talking about you get snakes and you don't know what's in them, and then the people forget what they bred, or people fall off and don't breed anymore, so you can't even get the information about the breeding or what was in the breeding or where they got their snakes from in the breeding. So then you're stuck with mystery genes. You're stuck with mystery recessives that you have no idea that could even have been possible in that snake. And which happened with mine, right? The Trojan gene. I got it from Wine Country Reptiles out here in Napa. His name is Clint. And I went back to him and I never heard of him.
Yeah, never heard of him.
Yeah. But I bought this snake. I bought this snake like I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe 5 years ago now. And I bought it as a fire plus hat clown. All he put was a plus because he knew something else was in there, but he had no idea what it was. Turns out he found the Trojan gene in his collection. He sold off all his collection, and he sold his Trojan gene to Canova, Austin Hudgens, and there was one more. I forgot who the other one was. Anyways, so when I went back and asked him, he didn't even know what the pairing was. He even forgot that he sold me the snake. But it's in Yahoo Messenger. I mean, in Facebook Messenger, so we can go back in the things and we can see that he sold it to me. But it's like, so I'm like, oh, right, there's this new gene. It kind of looks like Trojan. He's like, oh yeah, I had Trojan, and I found out that I had Trojan, and I sold it all. So chances are you have Trojan. Like, yeah, but
so he's not breeding anymore.
No, he got out of it. Yeah, he sold his whole collection.
Oh wow.
So, but anyways, to that point, what I'm coming out with here in the next month or two, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later. Something to alleviate some of that stuff, where you don't have to go back to the breeder to ask them what was this pairing. You can go back in the lineage to see what was bred. And what possibilities can be in there, so that when you're going to Reptile Genetics or Charlie from Gray Rider Reptiles to get your testing, you can test specifically rather than a whole broad range of things, right? Like, let me shoot in the dark and let me get 6 recessives instead of paying for what you really should know what's in there. Yeah.
Which, you know, what is it? Is it the hog noses? The hog noses have that problem where they have a bunch of recessives and stuff. So then they're just naming like it's 15 different possets.
You're like, yeah. So there needs to be a way to track it. And in the dog world, we had that, right? We had Bullypedia.
Bullypedia. It's really good. I use that thing religiously.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. I'm out there. When I did all my research on dogs, Bullypedia. I'd go out there. The kind of mess up thing about Bulletpedia is people can name their stuff whatever it is, regardless of what's on the papers. So then the new person gets it, then they register it under a new one. And you're like, come on, guys.
That was with that. I remember because we didn't have Bulletpedia. It was kind of like you had to know these dogs and remember each dog, and then remember what dogs are behind them, who produces what.
Right.
Yeah, it was a whole rabbit hole. And then Bulletpedia came up, and it's like, oh, I can go back and double check and look.
Exactly. And then you have Notepad, and you have all these lines going everywhere, and you're like, dang, I had to read my chicken scratch from back then, and that was tough. but you look at some of these gecko breeders who are putting up like Will, tell me, when you put up a gecko for sale and people ask you for lineage, what do you need to do?
I just send the parents. Just send the parents over. I kind of have it all pretty much handy, all in. Actually, I have a backup MacBook to this MacBook, and then a backup hard drive. So it's just a matter of just sending it over. We do that pretty much all day, every day, almost on a daily basis.
Right.
So,
but it's like if people want to know more than just the parents,
then
do people typically? People typically,
but it's definitely more work involved. I see where you're going, and yeah, that definitely would be useful.
Yeah, because I seen a post the other day. I looked at it. I was looking at the auctions, and I'm looking at geckos, and I'm like, oh, this is nice ass gecko. And it says it was lineage, and I go into there, and they're spelling out every single. These are the parents. These are grandparents. These are parents. These are grandparents, and it gets super confusing, right? Because you're like, whoa, hold on, where does this fall in place and stuff? And
because they're not doing it like a pedigree. They're doing it just going down the line. Yeah.
And like, is this on the mom side or is this the dad side? Anyways, but
the only way you would know that is if you knew those geckos,
right. And I have no idea on the gecko side. I have no idea of they're like large Marge or I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff, right? And I'm like,
it was just like the dogs. You knew what certain dogs were. You're like, oh, okay, I know this dog, I know that dog, and it's the same thing for them. But you're new to this, but you still have some kind of background of reading a pedigree or something, So you're like, okay, but I still want to know if that's the mom, if that's the dad, if that's on this side, are all these geckos on this side? Yeah, no, I get it because I was.
It's a research, just it's a research, just trying to get back there. So the goal for me on the disco would be this is contrary to, or this would be people might not like to hear this, but a Powerball Super Disco Clown would be.
I don't think Tim likes the Powerball. I love the Powerball, honestly. I know they have some neurological issue, but as far as appearance on the snake, it looks awesome.
You're not the only one. There's another buddy that's not too far from me. He was like, I'm going for Powerballs.
I've seen them. I've seen a video actually Jersey Guys Balls put out, and I have been seeing, because we work with Rice Reptiles as well, but I have been seeing the Powerball, the redhead Powerball Het Clown and the Clown, and I was one of the people that liked the Het Clown version better than the Clown version. I like both. And that was a visually pleasing snake. I actually sent it to and morphed out, and we were talking about it, and I was just like really, really impressed with the visual of that snake.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of the head wobble?
Yeah, for sure. The head wobble is always in the back of my mind. But it's a reason why I got into spotnose versus spider. Don't get me wrong, I have spider too. I have a single spider snake. So I don't hate on the spider. I just don't want it to proliferate in my collection. I wanted to keep it localized. I have one, but I'd rather have, like, for me personally, I'd rather have the spotnose versus the spider. I haven't had any wobble on any of the spotnose that I've produced. But I haven't produced a Powerball. So
it's the Powerball where you get the head wobble. Spotnose, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure somebody might have a single gene spotnose that might have a head wobble, but I haven't seen it. Now, champagne, you will hit some that single gene will have a head wobble, and some of them won't. Some of them just don't have it.
And super champagne is lethal, right? Or no?
Oh, yeah. Well, Yes, technically it is. It is.
It's hitting gene 1 too.
Huh?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, same as spider.
Yes, and I did that on accident one time. I did champagne
Oh
and
boy.
llama.
Oh
I was
no!
like, oh, I did it. Yeah,
And
but I got an all white animal that was just
Corkscrewing
sitting.
everything.
Yeah,
Dang.
but if it was cool, the temperature was down low enough and not up into the 90s, they
Mhm.
were fine, right? It was fine. It wouldn't have that much of a problem, and it ate fine and everything. But as soon as the temperature got warm, or they see anything, and it's almost like it got too excited to see a rodent,
Yeah.
it start doing that.
wow.
So, but the single gene spotnose do have the possibility of wobble as well. It's way less common, which is why I went with spotnose versus spider.
Huh.
Well, Cypress does that too now. If you make
Does it?
super Cypress,
I think
they
it's
have
that whole. I guess it will be that whole complex and the whole spider complex.
So why doesn't Blackhead do it then?
I
Because
don't know.
Blackhead's in that same.
They had that issue.
The
And the
Blackhead
supers-
supers.
I don't know. I think it's just weird. It's
I haven't heard it in the Blackhead.
Hmm.
Sorry, that's another gene that I'm heavy on. That I'm heavy on now.
Oh, yeah.
So I got some.
Blackhead.
I got some Blackhead. Blackhead spotnose disco.
Yeah.
Pastel head clowns. I have a male, and then I have a female.
I'm excited about that. I have a lot of blackhead too. I have blackhead cypress, illegal combos, I got blackhead trick, blackhead hurricane, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, definitely blackhead is, and I'm definitely one that loves the super blackhead.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm in it.
Yeah, hit that in. I want that in pie. I want a super blackhead pie, male or female. So I need to get that ASAP.
So the other one that it's a morphed out ass, right? The other one that I'm looking forward to is a super blackhead Powerball.
Yeah. Oh wow!
Clown or head clown.
Yeah.
Super blackhead.
Powerball.
So you can't. Sorry. That's not true because you can't do that because they're a lilac. You'll get a blackhead spot nose.
Right.
Head clown. So let's go with the blackhead spot nose disco.
Blackhead spot nose
clown.
Now, could you do it if you did a blackhead spot nose to a blackhead spot nose?
You can't. You
just get Powerballs or black.
That's right. You're trying to you super one or the other.
Yeah.
I just sold a black. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, that was a dumb statement because I just sold a blackhead spot nose, and it looks like a nice blackhead. The pattern you could kind of tell that it was spot nose.
Right.
It just looks.
That's just like the when you breed blackhead to spider, you get a normal.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's wow.
Yeah. Hey, I know people were hot when they were spending 10 grand for their blackhead and turn around, oh, I'm gonna breed a spider and make some money. And they're like, wait, hold up.
Gosh.
Wait a minute.
Ralph Davis was like, blackhead was his gene. He was selling it for a lot. It was not cheap.
Hey, that tells how new I am because we were just talking about that a couple weeks ago. I'm like, man, this thing looks like normal, and they saying this is a blackhead spot nose.
Yeah.
What in the world?
So blackhead spot nose I think has a better interaction than blackhead spider. Blackhead spider straight looks normal, a little darker than normal, but at least the blackhead spot nose you can tell it's blackhead with a little bit of spot nose influence. But it doesn't look much different than a blackhead disco.
Right.
Kind of strange. But so blackhead spot nose disco clown, I want to see that. I want to see what the influence of disco does in that combination. Because I do have a blackhead spot nose disco pastel male who's head clown. And that interaction is nice.
Fire disco. Yeah.
So James Scott, what's going on, James? We were actually started off this show talking a little bit about that, how to kind of get into it, dive into ball pythons in a smart way. Search all the morphs, look at different combos, see what draws your attention and what excites you, and grab a hold of that and just work pretty much what excites you.
There's so many to start with. It's kind of like if I was to start now, I'm like, dang, what do I start with? There's so much, and there's so much that people have that still hasn't scratched the surface yet that I've been looking at. I'm like, I need that. LC's one of them, KG. LC's one of them. Just thought I'd put that out there. But Bob has that one gene. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, he got it over there. I want that too. I want
crackhead gene.
Yes. I want that gene. I'm like, wait until he releases.
Hey, but you know what? That's why when he's talking about that program, and that would have fixed that whole problem. So I don't know if you're aware, Bob has his Bob Vu from Bob's Balls. He has a gene that he's working with, and he'll tell you like, man, I'm trying to figure this thing out. I've never seen nothing like it. And I'm like, what is it called? Me and Darren was there to say something. Call it the crackhead gene. And I'm like, what? Well, he's like, yeah, man, I just bought it from this guy and was just like all hyped up off of something that he didn't know the parents, the genes, or nothing. So I just bought it and
he didn't know who he sold. He sold the parents too.
Like,
he didn't know. But hey, at the same time, it was supposed to be spotnose. He had it marked as spotnose. It don't look like a spotnose at all. Like no,
it looks crazy.
No. Even when it touches fire, it is crazy. I'm like, that's just one gene to it. It is crazy when it just touches fire. So I'm pretty sure it's going to do the same thing with disco or vanilla or anything like that. But yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure. But it looks good. It does.
So he did a deal back of Walmart. Some guy who's like, hey, I got these balls. He's like, I'll give you a cheeseburger.
Kind of, sort of, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Apparently those are the best deals. Now he's got the crackhead gene.
I guess so.
Man, I hope he keeps the name because he might as well keep the name. Just run with it.
Yeah.
People love it.
Yeah. I'll buy a couple of them.
Well, got the voodoo. And that's the thing that I think the industry, you can influence the industry greater from the top than from the bottom. I think the people who present some of the stuff is like if you would have been Joe Blow and you would have ran with that, man, it's gonna fall. It's gonna fail.
Yeah.
But when it comes from somebody that's established, plus it's the energy put into it. I mean, truly, I'm not gonna speak for the man, but I'm sure it doesn't affect Bob whether it blows up or not.
Yeah, right.
So it's hard to, and that's what I try to tell people that's in, our, I can only speak from my perspective, trying to get in the game and wanting a brand spanking new gene and you hoping that's going to make a name for you and take off. I don't personally think that's possible because, from my perspective, because there's so much infrastructure that has to be in place for you to grow that gene. In the meantime, in that 5 to 10 years of growing that gene, what are you selling?
Yeah,
be selling something else in order to make ends meet or make it worthwhile while you make this gene and hold back all of it to see what it's doing. So I just don't see it as being feasible.
And that's where it has to be a side project, not your main project. It has to be.
Exactly.
And that's where these big breeders can do that side project.
Yep.
Because they have rack space and they keep a little and they breed them out and they have other stuff to push up front. Where in the back, I agree 100%.
I don't know how you work and how much.
Yeah.
I mean, and consistency. You can't fold. I preach that when we're working out and training. I'm a hellacious trainer. I push myself to the breaking point. But you got to be like that when you set your goals, regardless of what it is, even in just life. Beat it up. You gotta just whatever your path is, because you're gonna face a lot of obstacles. We're facing them ourselves. You have snakes that pass, that die, snakes that don't breed, snakes that, like you said, 5 years and you finally trying to get a.
She's up the way. She's up to weight. She's building
Yeah.
follicles. You can
All
feel
you
them.
can
You
do
see
is
them.
wait.
Nothing.
All you can do, and that's the one thing, and I don't want to mislead people, you know. And again, things that may work for me may not work for other people. I'm very focused and locked in, but what helps me is doing it at your own speed. But at the same time, for me, the more we've had, the better for me. Because it allows me, we have a lot of major directions we're going in, but it allows me not to hyper focus. It's like going in and you checking that one tub, making sure, you know, every time you feed, it's like it allows you not to hyper focus on that, constantly bothering temps and this, that, and the third. No, good records. You know, you keep everything clean, you take everything out, examine it, but it allows you to kind of span your time over a couple of different projects. So you're not like just literally lingering over the same thing.
So diversify a little bit.
Absolutely.
But you can get crazy with it.
Oh yeah, I know.
And so, so here's the thing, though. Even on that one, Ro. So in bodybuilding, we have short-term goals, we have long-term goals. Right. It's good to set milestones in the short term to hit the long-term goal. Right. So we don't want to be just so focused on the 5-year mark, but how do we achieve that 5-year mark?
Absolutely.
In shorter digestible pieces. Right. Because in bodybuilding, we have off season, and then we're contest prep. Right. But in off season, we have milestones every month. How much weight did I gain? Yep. Am I gaining size? Am I gaining quality size? What am I taking in? And then you go into it, which is going to set you up for contest prep.
Yeah.
Okay, I've gained X amount of muscle that I believe I gained. Now let's start cutting stuff down. And then you go into your last week, your hell week or whatever, and that's the final push. And you get to it. It's similar in the ball pythons is you have your 5-year goal. You have your, even people who are just getting in, you need that long-term vision to know what you're going to buy now. What do you want to produce in 5 years? To allow you to what you're gonna buy now. And then your short-term goals is how are you going to get to that 5-year goal, knowing that you need to either grow up snakes, and then when they will breed, if they will breed, and then your plan B if they don't breed.
Now that's very smart, and that was a part of, you know, continuing on your business plan and moving things out. I was talking to Tim from Morphed Out, the same thing, and it's like we were just talking about that female that I'm, you know, moving out, and yeah, I get it, you know, cool, nice female, but if I don't fix and stick to the game plan now, what am I gonna do when I have 40 clutches this year and 45 holdbacks matched with 41 holdbacks from last year that's in the grow out rack, and however many moving forward, this is gonna keep multiplying. So at some point, I'm gonna be in my own lane, but at an Aussie collection level where it's like, okay, I got this female that's you know, a leopard fire pod female that's about to be replaced with a leopard fire pod het clown female. She now has to go to another breeder so they can, you know, make some incredible animals with her, but I'm replacing her with another step up.
Right.
If I'm doing that within my collection, theoretically speaking, I don't have to go from 250 ball pythons to 400 to 600. You know, I don't want to do that, you know, but if I don't start that somewhere and make the decisions, man, you're going to screw.
You have to make the tough decisions. And I do like Ozzy's the way he's running his collection of replacement. Right. And a lot of people get attached to their snakes.
Yes.
But you're like,
and you have that. I get it.
Kind of, yeah.
Have a certain percentage. Sure. You can't say, hey, 50% of my snakes are sentimental. And maybe you do have a large portion. Some people have their there's nothing wrong with keeping that. Nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with having 1, 2, 3 snakes as your legitimate pets. You're not gonna be breeding. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're literally, you know, can't make ends meet, can't feed collection, and you got 800 snakes, and you're breeding them every year, like it's gonna be a dead end.
And we're talking about in the business sense,
right?
This is a business sense, because if all you want to do is hold and keep snakes, do whatever you want to do. Keep your snakes, whatever. But if you're in a business of breeding snakes, trying to move snakes, and trying to make some money to cover your snake costs at the very least, or whatever it may be, you have to have a mindset that these aren't necessarily that you enjoy them as pets, but you can't get that attached that you need to move them when they don't fit your vision for your business, for your program.
Especially if you're not gonna use them too. So you know,
exactly.
It's the hardest thing is you know, like Morphed Out said that you have to evolve pretty much. That's what he broke it down to. 10 years, if you're not evolving, you're just gonna stay stagnant and produce the same stuff. You might have enough racks or enough combos where you can produce different stuff, but you have to evolve with the times. You know, I could have stayed making comments 24/7 all the way through and kept going. You know, but we realized with that, you ended up with a muddy up snake. You ended up with a snake that's this. Now we learned how
sentimental value
work with what. Now we're like, okay, now we need to make the most prettiest snake as an adult and not just as a baby. You know, because some of these babies look great, and then as adults, you're like,
ooh, yeah,
I like that.
I got tricked. but so if you go back to the dog game is a little more difficult to do that, right? To be able to people had it was super difficult to move dogs because the sentimental value, then you got attached to your dog even more. People fall in this trap, and it just depends on what you're in this for, right? Or is it a business, or is it personal and just a hobby, and that's the way you're sticking to? Then do whatever makes sense for whatever it is that you're trying to do.
That's the only lane. Is a slight difference with it in the balls and the dogs, because you can invite people over, see your dog, show your dog. We used to show off all the time. I was actually in the conversation. I ain't gonna throw him under the bus because he kind of see the error in his ways. But I was speaking business to another entry-level breeder who's trying to do it in a better way. And they had two sides of their business. They had educational, which I think is very important to go birthday parties, schools. But you had that side of things as a business, but then you also had the breeding for mid-level quality breeder style snakes. And just for 1 second, everybody can comment in the comment section if you agree or disagree. I feel like you have to have some relatively deep pockets to do that. And the reason I say that is if you're going to take snakes to presentations, classrooms, birthday parties, I feel like, and you're going to breed and push the industry on your level, you need to have two separate collections. You have to have a collection where you're going to expose it to the elements. You're going to be taking it back and forth to classrooms. You're going to have to quarantine it. You're also not going to want that collection to touch your collection that you're breeding to push your genetic combos, because anything can affect all of them. On top of that, you have to have a different type of insurance based on where you are. If you're going to be basically exposing new people in a school setting or birthday party setting to ball pythons, we know they're truly harmless, but we live in a litigious society where one of them kids get nipped, your whole business is done. Everything is gone. I don't care how many waivers you sign, your whole business is done. So you have to have so much separate that do you have the infrastructure to have two separate facilities even under the same roof? Like it's I gave them that scenario and they just like, wow, I just thought it was a lot simpler than that. I thought I could just go and You know, hey, nope, your insurance gonna be through the roof.
Yep.
If business insurance, it's some of everything. So you bring these things. That's the stuff that Audra hates. I like really dig in. I want to know worst case scenario.
Right.
I want to budget. I want to, because things are not always worst case scenario, but are you prepared?
Right. Yeah. No, you prepare for the worst and expect the best, right? But you prepare for the worst. That's just how it goes. But even on Nikki's podcast, the Irresistible Balls yesterday, they had Breaking Balls on there, and he spoke to that exactly, right? It's like he said he stopped going to shows, or I think he stopped going to shows, or doesn't go to very many shows, or doesn't even take snakes to shows because of the way that he quarantines. That everything he'd take to a show, he'd have to bring back. And he'd have to quarantine everything, right? And he quarantines for however long. People are handling them, then he has to clean them off. And he says for him, it's too laborious to go to a show, do all these things, and then come back and then quarantine. Then you need a whole separate facility. So I can only imagine for someone who has a business of showing their snakes,
right,
what they have to do in order to keep their collection, their business collection, safe and disease free,
right,
from the snakes that they just took out, and it like you said, exposed to everything.
Yeah, because it's at the same time, even if it's in the same facility, you know, obviously you're not going to take, you know, and again, it's the business side. Every snake has a value. Every snake is very important. I'm going to put that out there as a disclaimer. But I mean, if you're taking this $5,000 snake, you're not going to take that and show that off in a classroom. But isn't it just the same as if you took a normal and showed that off and then brought it back to the same collection where you keep your $5,000? It's the same thing. So
same
you
thing.
have to figure out a way to differentiate. But yeah, no, you're right, and it's very interesting because when we do the shows because we want to get out and hang out and meet some of the existing people in the industry, meet the new people, and basically get out into regions and networks that we are not in every day. It does network, it increases our reach. Reach is very important because it can, you know, translate to sales eventually. But even more so, you know, I don't care what platform you're on, as far as shows, the internet is always going to be bigger, always.
Right.
100-fold is always going to be bigger, but we want to be able to go and socialize and see things in person. It's way too far. It's way too often people, especially with the balls, because I've been a victim of it as well. And you go and you have an agenda that you want to stick with. Hey, I'm looking for this. And you go around and you don't see it, but then you got that baggie going home. What's in it? That's not what you were looking for. You know, you know,
that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, it provides that for you. And I get it, you know, and a lot of time, going back to the beginning, a lot of time it's that extra female, you know, oh, I can add this in somewhere. But to say that you're going to go, yes, it has financial gain, has business growth. But, you know, I spoke specifically with Bob, you know, he said the same thing. He loves doing the shows. He has a whole team that comes out. And yeah, everybody knows he's killing the game. He's making some great profits. But he sat there and was transparent. He said, dude, he says, show year round shows. He's cut back on shows, but he does all the big shows. He does a lot of road work, traveling. He said shows account 25 to 30% of his income. I mean, that tells you right there the bulk of his income is while he's at home.
He does shows. He's doing shows for a while.
Yeah.
And so to your point, then, like reach, right? And it's interesting you bring that up because even well, I mean, in geckos, from what I understand, your gecko collection is way bigger than your snake collection, and you've been in the geckos longer. But your reach then becomes so. Like I even messaged you on Instagram that I have a gecko that I bought here in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
that goes back to your lineage, right? So it's like you're on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast, but I just bought a baby that comes from your stock, and it's like that's crazy. That reach, right?
That's crazy.
You're not staying in your backyard, pretty much.
Yeah. But that's gotta be. It's been by design, you know. It's gotta be that way. You know, it's what I forgot how to say it, so it may not be exact, but is it called like 6 degrees of separation?
Yeah.
Where you know, and it's like that in life. I guarantee you there's 6 people you know that I don't know. And it's like that with everyone. You know, so when you have those good experiences, you know, you put positivity out there, you'll get it back. Yeah, you're gonna have some rough patches and obstacles, but I think everybody faces the same thing in different ways. You know,
Right.
Which is the other thing as far as disagreeing. Shoot, Darren and I, we disagree on things all the time.
We do.
I want to listen to the reason, you know.
Yeah,
we had that light bulb moment, and I'm like, dang,
yeah,
okay, I didn't even think about it that way. It's not always concrete, like, oh, this is.
But and that's what we have to be, and not just, that's in life. That should be a life lesson, something that we take in life in general. Like, why would you be so stuck in one way that if you hear something that makes sense to you? See, I think the problem is in more recent times, people use the term flip floppers, right? And people don't want to be a flip flopper.
Tim Bother.
but people don't want to be coined a flip flopper,
right?
But think about that. If something that you hear sounds better than what you thought previously, change.
Right.
If that makes sense, and it's
it does.
Better
that's
advice,
part of evolving. It's the biggest part of evolving. Like if I would have just stayed doing dogs forever, never really started getting into the snakes. You know what I'm saying? And I, what's crazy is that you were in at the same time I was, and then we never even met, and we don't even live that far from each other. That's really crazy. But as soon as ball pythons hit, it was like, hey, man.
right. Well, but again, back to the point. You were Gray Line, I was Razor's Edge, or you were Guardian Line, I was Razor's Edge. So I was
doing both. I was doing both. I was intermixing both because I was doing that.
We're in different
different lanes.
So, but it is interesting because we attended the same shows and the same meet and greets and the same stuff, right? Like we were in the world. We just, I don't know why, but
that's odd because it should have been like a gravitational pull. It's like, hey, that's somebody on my eye level.
Exactly. Like, hey, another little person. Let's go. What's up?
You know what's crazy? Because Rich from Capital City, he was in the dogs. He was literally in Sacramento and dealt with these guys Diamond Life, and I never even spoke to him. And
Rich
I knew all about him. Yeah, just never cross paths. Go over here. It's just
we
crazy.
We weren't like little people unite.
Because Rich ain't that much tell you same height. He's like close to the same height. So
we're the same height. We're little but big in personality. Will, don't forget it. Will, we're little but big in personality, sir.
Hey, wait. Will said he met somebody this weekend at Tinley. He was like, "Oh, he reminded me of you. He about your height."
Yeah, the homie. Actually, he's in the comments. Fred, MTZ.
Oh, dang, Fred, you're one of us.
Yeah. So short people unite.
Short people unite. I'm gonna come out with a little fucking slogan. Let's go.
I got Aaron got a banner. He got a banner now.
Yeah, it's like the Care Bears, but we're like the little people.
Yep.
I have no shame in my game. I'll tell you what. I do not.
No.
Just don't bring KG or none of them around me.
Oh God! Have you met them in person?
They would nah. Oh, but I hear they're way too tall. Nah.
Yeah, KG saw. He make you feel short. What did he say?
Yeah.
Was it KG took some pictures and it looked like we were standing with Tony, right? The pictures that he took, it looked like he's hanging from a tree for real and taking the picture because it's like zoomed down, but you're like, we're all looking up.
He said he's little compared to his son. His son is bigger than him. So when you see KG, I couldn't imagine somebody being bigger than him. But Big E is huge too.
But they the same. They like the same height. They close.
I'm over there hugging a leg while we're standing next to each other. Like, let's take a picture.
Yeah,
Nah,
you're pretty much putting your arm around his waist.
nah. Get me a chair or something. Get me a step stool. Get me something. Nah, that's not happening.
You said we ain't looking small in pictures. Shoot it from the bottom and up, so we look close.
Or you sit down, I'll stand up. Let's make this fair.
So let me ask you, as far as infrastructure, what kind of rack systems, or what kind of, do you run PVC or?
Yeah, mine are PVC. Even one I made myself.
Okay.
Similar to these other designs, but they're not. It's not fully enclosed, so it just has two pieces on the side. But it's all that XPVC or expanded PVC, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
All.
Did you do your rodent
half inch
out of that? Did you do your
rodents?
Out of that?
Nah, the rodents are in a wooden rack that I made. I made that shit too.
Because the PVC for the rodents, man, I was like, that's not a bad idea. That is a pretty good idea.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Yeah. And it's sliding and everything. So
I know Tim, he did PVC for ASF, a couple of ASF colonies. I think it was pretty cool. I've never tried out, stuck with the wood and rock with that. How many colonies you got with rodents?
Which ones?
Oh, yeah.
We got 4 colonies.
The field mice.
We got 2 colonies of those.
Okay.
And yeah,
that's
we got
gonna
4
multiply
colonies
so quick. Don't worry. Them things. Once they start going, it's a done deal.
Yeah, right now I have, and again, first litters, but I have 40 something babies on the ground right now.
Oh wow! So you're not you feeding your whole collection or not yet?
With them, no, not yet. So they just bred. They just had their first. So it's a 1. It's 2 1.5s.
Okay.
And I got them. Maybe a month and a half ago, and they just went for me. Yeah, let's see. I have a grow out tub. I'm just gonna dump them all in and let's go.
You're still buying rodents on a weekly?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have some, but these. What was that?
I'm in that same group.
Yeah. And I have the Norwegians, and they're breeding better, and I've learned, like, so I was only giving Missouri, and I'm like, what's going on? They're like, they're not breeding as well for me. They're not. I don't know. It just wasn't happening. Then I started supplementing them. Started giving them veggies and eggs and sweet potato, and I'd hard boil eggs and I'd throw them in there. Man, their production exploded. Now they're producing.
Do you think it's a protein because the eggs is giving them a lot of protein?
I think it's because of the protein. Yeah. The protein and the so I'll throw a white sweet potato in there. I should probably get yams, whatever the cheapest is.
Because some of these guys are using, which KG is one of them, and it's multi-cat. So the multi-cat is 30% protein, and you get that at Tractor Supply. So what I do, I was starting to supplement that a little bit into the food, but I also do the black seed and do
the flaxseed is another one that I throw in there too. So I'll put all this stuff in there. So multi-cat, where do you find that at? I know it's at Tractor Supply, but where? Is it dog food? Is it cat food? Or is it
cat food? It's cat food.
It's cat food. I'm gonna check it out. Because over here, the Tractor Supply, they don't even carry Missouri all that. They'll carry it, but it's sometimes, like right now, they don't have anything. So I bought this like fancy rodent mixture with like dried up bananas, bunch of seeds and stuff in it.
Well, so with Tractor Supply, what you could also do, you could order it online and it gets shipped there, and then you just pick it up.
Yeah, but I'm fucking. You talk about procrastinating. Sometimes I'll wait till the end, and that shit's end. It's already empty, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta order. I'm like, man, do they have it? And I check. I'm like, this last time they didn't have it. I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? I can't just give them hard-boiled eggs and sunflower seeds. So I bought them some rodent eggs.
No, hey, so Missouri, I do mostly Missouri, but I'll sometimes do Kalmbach, but I try to stick mostly with Missouri. And then I'll supplement a little bit of the black seed, sunflower seeds, right? Yep. And then I'll put in the multi-cat too.
Hey, Banna, so I use that pretty religiously. I I think we normally order it like every 6 months, and we order a crap ton of it. We clean with it. I mean, we spray pretty floors and dry mop the floors with it. We do everything. So we come
Yeah,
back.
there's some other stuff too that you might be able to get easy besides the F10 for cleaning
Are
and
they
everything.
discontinuing it, or is they not shipping it to certain areas? Because I don't have a problem getting it.
It might be shipping to certain areas.
Okay.
I don't have a problem getting it, but it's the other stuff. It comes in a blue bottle. What is it called? Oh man, I got it. Hold on.
This is the disinfectant you guys used to spray.
Yeah. You talking about chlorhexidine? Is that what you're talking about?
Chlorhexidine, yeah. Chlorhexidine, that's it. Right there.
Hey, what about a Odo band? You get it from Home Depot.
Odor band? Yeah.
I used to use that for the dogs
around the house.
Yeah.
But I still use chlorhexidine, which is the best bang for your buck, honestly. 10 is still real good, but chlorhexidine is lightweight.
You get it shipped from Amazon too. They have it at Amazon. And it's about the same price because I think it's like $22. You get a Tractor Supply here too, but it's like $22. It's
for how much?
$22.
No, but for how much?
Oh, for like a gallon, big old gallon bottle. Oh. Yeah.
These
it'll work.
About the same size as Odor Band. You know how you get that big bottle of Odor Band? It's about the same size.
Same bottle, same size. Yeah.
The Odor Band smells nice. I like that.
Yeah, it does.
The chlorhexidine will work the same.
You
know what I like is when you use that stuff too and you spray it on there, it seems like it eats away the urate. So like the urate is easier to scrape off. It's kind of weird. I mean, that's why
I have Hey, so if you get those plastic, at the car parts store, they have those plastic things to pop off your something like the moldings around your stereo and stuff. So I use those to scrape off the urate and stuff.
We got them now. They make them. You got to get tapped in with Robin. They got plastic scrapers where I got a whole pack of like 100 replacement blades, and they're like plastic orange replacement blades.
Oh shit!
Oh man, they're awesome. They're awesome. I mean, I think we got 5 or 6 of them, and the kids they be scraping that.
Where's that at?
Redline shipping.
Oh, it's Redline.
Yeah, Redline.
Nice.
Shipping.
Yeah,
I'll check them out. I ship out of Redline.
He'll throw those in.
He even got the forceps.
Shit, he didn't throw any in on mine last time.
What'd you get?
No. I just what did I get from?
I just ordered some boxes and
that's it.
These.
Yeah.
I do.
You can order these from Amazon and they're cheap.
And they just scrape.
They're cheap, like a big old thing of them. Amazon has their own too. So like before I was getting them from Robin, I was getting the Amazon ones.
So I like because he did throw one of them in there.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Man, I'm throwing them under the bus.
Yeah, you'll get these too. He'll throw these in there too. I was like, shoot.
Ooh, those nice right there. So I use this big ass. Look at these guys. My tweezers.
You got to see the ones I got. The ones that lock.
Oh shit!
Man, they like
you really don't want to get bit.
Yeah, they're like
Will don't like touching the rodents. He's like this with the rodents, and then he's feeding like that too. And they're live, so like you pinching the hell out of the tail. I'm like, oh man, just grab them by the tail, and throw them in there.
Hell no! Some of these rodents would like double back on you and bite the shit out of you. Hell no!
I just hold them by the tail, open that tub up. Sure enough, my snakes are down to the point they know I'm right-handed, so I'm throwing on one side. So they waiting on that side of the tub. Once you start opening the tubs, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be on this side. We're gonna wait."
We finally got a few in the collection now. I think like 4 or 5. Darren was telling me a while back, like, "Hey man, on feeding day they be coming out." I got about 4 or 5 where you
they be waiting
open and they're jumping out.
Yeah. I had one almost tag me right in my eye the other day. As soon as I opened the thing, they're like, "Come!" I'm like, "I don't even have a rat in my hand."
He's like, I smell something. Did you go out in the garage? What was it?
You smell delicious, sir. But yeah, it's I mean, all these tools they use tools of the trade, I suppose.
Yeah, it helps with frozen
Oh wait, frozen thaw, I get it, but he's dealing with the live rodent. Frozen thaw, I get it. I get it with a frozen thaw.
I'd rather grab a frozen thaw and throw it in than to grab one like that's backwards.
Nah, man, the live one, you good. It's all nice and warm. I guess because my thing is, man, I don't like things to die. I don't like them to die. So it's like,
so you don't have a gas chamber. You guys gas? Oh
No.
Well, you're buying rodents. Are you buying?
Nope.
Do you breed or buy rodents, Darren?
I breed.
You breed.
Yeah.
No gassing.
This last week I had to buy about 70, but I only needed 60. So some people got extra meals, but yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So I only had to buy that many.
Yeah, but how many?
I fed over 200 and something babies. So and adults. So yeah, but I only had to buy 60, so I was good.
Yeah, I have a gas chamber, and I have my gas, but I've never used it. I've never had to use it because they're all being. I don't even have enough to feed, so it's like.
Do they suffer when you do that? Do they gonna just?
They just fall asleep real nice. They just take a little nappy poo.
Oh, okay. Maybe
actually, I don't know. I've never done this. I don't know, but if, I can only imagine, like, right. If you think about the people who, when they do things in the garage and they turn on their car, they just fall asleep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it the same like dry ice? You know,
I think so.
The dry ice, it looks like it's sucking the air out, so they look like they're kind of just.
So
you see them slowly
same thing because instead of oxygen, you're pumping CO2, so they still can't breathe the CO2, so they end up just passing out. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done it. I have no necessarily. I don't have any real problems doing it, but I haven't had enough rodents to do it.
KG.
She said, "Hold your breath and tell me if you suffer."
You don't. You don't. You just fall asleep. So hey, funny story. So when you were younger, we're all about the same age, right?
Yeah.
No,
you might be.
We're 40.
Yeah,
wait, 41. He's about to be 42. Don't about to be 42. Don't let him lie to you.
Oh, Will, you're an old ass too?
Oh,
yeah.
He is.
We're all old asses. So, okay, anyways, beside the point, we're old asses. So back in the day, you guys remember the pass out game?
No.
So there'd either be people in front of you, people behind you pushing on you so that you couldn't breathe.
Oh, yeah, with the chest.
Yeah, until you passed out.
And he passed out.
And then we got more sophisticated and we did rear naked chokes until you passed out. Yeah. So, but anyways, the point of the story is, so they do this. You wouldn't even know when you passed out.
Yeah.
You just pass out, and then you're having these dreams, these beautiful dreams, and then you wake up.
And it's short. Well, let me tell you, my mom's boyfriend, they used to do that, and he's 60 something, right? They used to do that, and they used to do it, and he said that they were taking a hit. They take a hit of weed and then they pass out, right? They help somebody pass out. So the high that you come up is even different. But they let him fall.
Oh.
And he broke his spine.
Oh my God.
Broke his spine, was almost paralyzed. Yeah.
Oh.
That's crazy. If you see, he got stitches straight down his back.
So more of the story, don't be playing this game, kids. Don't be playing this game.
So don't do it. Don't do it.
So what we did,
they let him fall.
Oh, that's messed up. So we let him fall, but we were in grass and they didn't like fall crazy. Or when we got more sophisticated with the rear naked choke, we did it on a chair. But my man, some crazy stories. My cousin be like, he went stiff and he was only on 2 wheels.
That's a form of getting high right there. That is a different form of getting high. Just like those kids spinning around in circles.
We did some dumb shit back
and making themselves dizzy.
Hey, that is better than the Tide Pod game, though.
I mean, definitely is. Until you hold that rear naked choke for a little too long.
Yeah. That was crazy when I was hearing about that going around. Like, that is crazy. Tide Pod. No, I'm good.
How does that sound? How does that sound like a good idea? Like, hey, where do you put that in the dishwasher? Oh, you want me to eat it? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Or you put that in the laundromat, not in your washing machine. I'm
Washing
good.
machine, yeah.
It's gonna clean your insides. I promise.
So, Jose, what's the next step or in the foreseeable future for you? What are you looking to aim to add to your collection, whether it's big or do it both ways? What are you looking to do next, infrastructure-wise, whether rodents, rats, and what are you looking to add in the next collection, next snake purchase?
So as far as infrastructure here, so right now I'm in an extra bedroom. I'm looking to I will get a rack, and it'll be ARS or Freedom Breeder. I was going back and forth. Whichever one it is, get a nice setup. I think I'm gonna keep my the hatchling rack at a PVC. It's easy, no big deal. But I want the bigger adult rack, similar to what Darren's got back there. I know you got some of the same ones, but that same rack, because it's a space saver, so I can still expand in this room because I have super high ceilings. So infrastructure, that's what I want to do there, and that'll probably be within this year. And then what was the other one? A project. So the only other one, see, this is what I tell people, especially beginning, is careful with the amount of recessives you get.
Yep.
Because the expansion gets exponential with recessives, right? Especially because if I'm breeding, or like the way I breed, I'm keeping as much as I can that I want to keep back. And if it's recessives, I'm keeping a lot of them. So I've been able to keep my recessives. I've been able to keep them, right, with all this morph market auctions and shit, to 3. I have Pied, I have Clown, and I have DG. Pied wasn't planned, but it's in there. And I only have a male, so it's not like something that I'm gonna be adding Pied to the collection, but it's in there. Cool, no big deal. But the other one that I do want to add is Cryptic or Krypton, whichever one.
So when you add Cryptic, you're gonna add Cryptic, Kryptons, and you're gonna be rocking and rolling with that too.
Yeah. Another Alila combo in the recessive.
That's Will. He does not like Cryptic, but loves puzzle, but doesn't like Cryptic.
Talk about it, Will. What's going on? Tell
me. Honestly, for me, it's really simple. I like getting on Darren's nerves, but for me, it's as simple as what you just said. I'm all in, but like it just don't make sense for me to keep going down every single pathway.
Yeah.
So if I go in Cryptic, then I'm going to have Cryptics, Kryptons. I'm going to be working in triple recessive, quad recessive. It just doesn't make logical sense, because in theory, I'm going to need a whole nother rack, 13, 14 levels high at bare minimum. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, so how many recessives are you working right now?
A lot.
To add another allelic recessive at that, it's like adding 2 recessives to that.
It's really more than that though, because for me, you think
I feel because it's allelic, you're all right. It's gonna match. It's gonna go with the clown. So if you already got clown, it don't matter.
You know why it don't matter? Because the direction, everything's going in. It won't match because everything's going in triple, quad, even more so. What's the 5? What is it? Quintuplet or whatever?
Yeah.
Everything is going in that direction. So honestly, on a business sense, if someone's getting in the game now, and they're wanting to work recessives, I really think you kind of have to work recessives business side. But if you're looking at the best bang for your buck, you should already be into the quad heads and 100% quad heads, and get the codons in the mix and work the long game rather than the right now game. But if I was to get into Cryptic and all that, I got tied in the ultra male pot. Like, it's just way too much.
But he has all those genes that secretly have Cryptic in it.
But don't worry. Look, when they pop out, sell.
It's good. It's already in.
Chip.
Would you abandon?
Soon as you get it, and it pops up, go ahead and just shoot it this way. I'll take it.
Honestly,
yeah.
Honestly, if it pops up, if cryptid pops up, yes, everything that's involved with cryptid, and there's nothing against the genes specifically.
Yeah.
But anything that pops up that's cryptic, it's gonna be for sale.
But then then again, it goes back to the thing. You got to be disciplined.
Yep.
And that's what Breaking BALLZ was saying is when there's something in his collection that he does not want, it's off because that's not in his plans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And to think about it like this. Let me ask you, Darren, what's your favorite two gene or two recessive gene? What's your favorite two recessives? Your combo, Green Circle or Clown Pie? What's your favorite?
Well, I do like the drumsicle, but I mean, I'm kind of veering a little bit away from that, kind of in a way. I still like Clown Pie. I do. So I still like Clown Pie.
So, and this is why I say that. So think about things now before things get crazy. And I know you have a fix for this right now. If I throw it. So Clown Pie combos, you're 5 years from now into the future. Yeah. And with all your reads and everything going on, out of nowhere, you got boom, 15 hold back Clown Pie with codon females. Right now, you got somewhere to put them. But if you don't plan now to have somewhere to put them in 5 years, you won't. Yeah. And that's the problem. That's one double visual program with 15 hold back combo girls moving forward. What about your other 10 programs you running?
That's where it comes down to, like, hey, you know what? You got to make that decision. Do I keep running with this project or do I let other stuff go?
But this is the problem. So, and you got to make those issues and adjustments now, because what we know as cool combos will become, quote unquote, the base. Clown Pie. If you got Clown Pie right now with nothing in it, it's a base. It's a cool base. But I mean, 5 years from now, that Blackhead spotnose Clown Pie probably going to be the base.
Right.
It's, a Pompeii, as crazy as that sounds.
It's going to be the base.
It's the base.
It'd be like,
they're
going to the clown. And I mean, even that's not even double recessive, but because it has 4 other incomplete dominants in it, or 5, it's harder to hit. But once people start really hitting it, but they're not doing just that combo, but they're adding 5 genes into a recessive. Yeah, that's where we get to that point soon enough.
Yeah, and I think about the more recessive genes you got in there, those quad recessives, triple recessives, you're going to need more of those females because you're going to be going in different directions with it. You're not just going to triple visual or double head visual this and put it all to one program. With a collection like yours, you're going to have 3 or 4 males that's working into that program. I mean, you're the name of the game is to keep bettering your collection.
Exactly. So that's really where I'm starting to really let go. A lot of breeder females. I wasn't heavy on males, but I had enough males, but they're moving for next to nothing anyways. But the females, moving the females. So a lot of these is going to be empty this week too. I'm going to six more tubs empty this week.
And that's the thing. That's where if I were to add another gene, is going to be one more recessive. I think I have the genes that I want to work with right now for the next 5 years. I have the genes that I want to work with, and then the recessives are going to take me into the next 5 years, the next 10 years, let's say, right? So and then the growth, so I've kept my collection small on purpose because I want to focus, and it's not a hyper focus, but I want to grow in a way where a lot of the snakes either I produce or I would like to produce a lot of the snakes that I have in my collection.
Say with that, produce your females and buy your males.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And that's where I'm going. Yeah. That's why I kept the 3 vanilla discos. That's why I have the Blackhead. So, however, I did hold back, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a holdback, but I have 2 male holdbacks. One, the vanilla disco head clown male, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to move anyway. He's nice, but I want to move him. And then I have that spot nose because I don't see this particular male out there, the spot nose disco blackhead pastel hat clown male. He's not out there. And I think, like, for me, where I'm trying to go with the disco and the blackhead stuff, that's going to be a male that I can grow up quick enough, use them, and then move them.
Makes sense.
Not have to sit on them. Let me show you these two males. Just you guys let me know.
For me, it's easier to let males go than breeder females. That's a struggle. But this guy, you looking for old pictures.
Yeah. I figure we needed a commercial break, so you know.
Oh dang! What did I come back to here?
Yeah, Will.
Shit! Is this a wrestling federation over here? The Little People Wrestling Federation. Hey, you know how many of those shows they have out here?
Oh, really?
Do they?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, here in Sonoma County in particular, like Petaluma and Santa Rosa, they have like 2 or 3, maybe 4 a year. That's crazy. Yeah, good looking out, Will. He just photoshopped you right in there.
Free promotion. Hey, you know, in that picture, I'm holding Phenom in that picture that he took. He took the dogs out of there.
Oh, that's messed up. So this.
What is that? It looks chocolate.
No, blackhead.
Close.
Yeah. Kind of the same, right? So this is what I think is a blackhead spot nose disco pastel head clown.
Blackhead spot nose disco pastel.
The head only looks blackhead. Hold on, let's see if I can get it.
The blackhead is kind of making it a little bit
blackhead pastel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The body, I'll show you a blackhead pastel. Oh no, I don't have that. That's a female. But I have a blackhead pastel, blackhead pastel disco, no spot nose. It looks slightly different than this.
Wow.
So this is a male.
Let's see that because I want to compare the two.
Okay, I'll show you that. Hold on. So this is the male, right? This is one of the holdbacks. All right. Hold on. Tell them my battery must not be plugged in. Hold on 1 second.
Gotcha. So Vanna, to my understanding,
there we go.
You
see head influences, sometimes you don't.
Yes. I see that's the thing is too. I mean, you can see some head influence, like xanthic. If you have xanthic and pastel, and it's a head xanthic, the xanthic is gonna make the pastel a little bit duller. Now, some of the markings in the clown, you can see. You know, people say it's the marking behind the neck and the tail. The tail has a stripe down the back of it, and then a white tip tail.
The white tip tail.
White tip tail. Yep. And then if you can see, like by that tail, you can see a dorsal stripe too. Yep, the full dorsal stripe. See it?
And the white tip, yeah.
Tip, yep.
Hold on.
And then pies, you get the pie tracking. Some people now. Sunset, does sunset come out darker in their heads? Probably. I mean, but if you got something that's 66%, I mean, that's like saying, hey, I'm gonna sell it and say it's 100% because I see the markings. You can't do it. So if you have something that's backing it up, genetic testing saying, hey, it's genetic tested by Gray Rider Reptiles. There you go. Here's the picture of the animal. Here goes my slip. This is the proof that I took that animal and got it tested.
So this
you
one,
can guarantee it and get that price tag.
Pastel disco blackhead head clown. This one.
Mm-hmm.
This is adding spot nose.
Spotnose to it. Yeah. It
Wow.
looks totally different.
And you can tell by the this one here. You can tell you can I say you can tell, but I say the pattern on this one,
And it's darker.
the floating, the darker.
Yeah.
You see that the floating head, and then this one is just. You could tell this is past self for sure. You can tell it's Blackhead, and then the broken up.
It
pattern.
canceled out the spot nose because that last one that you just showed looked like my pastel yellow belly or gravel Blackhead,
This
right?
one?
Yeah, the other one.
This one.
That one. Yep. That one. It looks like that one.
And that's what I think disc with disco.
And then reducing the pattern a little bit.
I think some breeders that don't like the genetic testing, they dislike it for various reasons. I'm a supporter of genetic testing myself.
Also because it's going to kill the time frame that everybody's going to be able to produce these animals. Yeah. It's almost like having an incomplete dominant once you test it. Like I already know what it is.
Right.
So here's the other male that I kept. This is what I call the poor man's pride, right? Or what? Not me. What they call the poor man's pride. See, it doesn't look like a right. You've seen vanilla fires, and I even have a vanilla disco that doesn't look like this. It has white, but just you see the pixelation in the right there.
It makes me think of there was actually a snake that I passed on some time way back that I really liked, the super form. What was it? It's in that fire area, fire, vanilla, disco, sulfur, super sulfur.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And that's cool. Yeah.
See the white lip, the head. It's just different.
And the genes on this is a super disco?
No, this is a vanilla disco. Heck no.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's what Tim was asking to see.
Yep, this is a vanilla disco hat. And so this is a nice representation of the vanilla disco hat.
Yeah, I think it's bright too. Really bright.
It's crazy because when you do disco and fire, that the head looks different.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different type of blushing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see that one has pattern to it.
Yeah. And they got the little white lip on one side. That's cool.
I can show you the she's not a clutch mate, but she comes out of the same breeding. I'll show you the female. She's the one she's a big girl. Hold on.
Gotcha. We got him working.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna let that one go, Tim. I'm asking.
So those are babies. This is a
Jose. Tim was asking, is that the one you think about letting go?
Yes, sir.
Oh wow.
Oh
yeah. There you go, Tim.
I'm trying to sell them as a group. I have two females that are also discos, disco combos.
Gotcha.
That I was trying to sell them as a combo or even.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
So you know what a vanilla. Hold on. This way. The vanilla fire looks like, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one has similar head to the other one, right?
Right.
Let me get so she looks like a low white pied.
How old is she?
2 years old. So did you see the darker one that I brought out earlier? The female, but that I thought was entry. This is her clutch mate.
And you didn't pair her, did you?
This one?
Yeah.
She's been paired.
Oh, because she looked like she's building follicles. That's why I said. That's why I was saying
and
that.
she very. I think she is too.
Uh-huh.
Let's go this way.
You can see it.
But she's a big girl anyway, so it'll be difficult to.
Yeah, but even big girls, you'll be able to see the bulge. Boom, boom.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think she is. She's staying on the warm side. She's not parent anymore. Look at that. She probably has a big old shit coming out.
Uh-oh.
Ready to dump. But anyways, this right here is what I believe to be a spot nose, vanilla disco, Enchi hat clown.
God.
But you can see how bright it is, right? Like
Right.
she's grown.
Oh, yeah.
She's grown and she doesn't have very much, if any at all, speckling, right? And she's still super, super bright.
Tim is kicking him. He said, I shouldn't have got up here today. He said he's gonna inbox.
You should not, this is like Morph Market.
I mean, doing these lives and stuff helps sell animals easy.
Oh,
yeah, and I've shown those snakes before, but it's like different audiences see them, and for me, it's like, oh, I'll show it again, I guess, right? Like, but I have to understand that not everyone is on the same.
Sees everything.
That's what
they don't see everything.
That for the last 2 years. I'm like, dude, show your
Thanks,
stuff.
man.
Finally doing it. You know?
So yeah. So I'll show it whenever I get a chance, but because some of the stuff is nice and people don't. So the reason I'm focusing on disco gene because not many people are, and it hasn't been worked as much as, or hasn't been given the attention that I think it should be given.
It's been put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you have people like the people who have worked at the most that I've seen work at the most is like Jason Amos.
Jason Amos. That's who I saw it from. Yep.
And he has one that he just produced, which is what did he call it? I forgot what he called it, but it's crazy stuff.
So for Smay, any easy tricks to ID and disco versus fire and vanilla?
Dang, good luck. Well, fire you can 100% tell. I think you can 100% tell the difference. It's the brightness to it. Well, I could say 100%, but that's still not even true because a lot of the times you can tell fire different, but there are different expressions of each of the morphs that do kind of blend the lines or blur the lines between them.
Right.
Vanilla, it's just like a brighter gene. And I had a live with Angel Caro from he's in Washington, and we talked about the vanilla gene and what he sees in the vanilla gene, which is different than what we see in the disco. And the disco, similar to the fire, if you look at the back end where the tail's at, it starts to box. The alien heads start to box, and then they kind of group together at the back end. It's like if you look back at this, you'll be able to see the where that happens at the tail. The vanilla doesn't do that, and it holds the alien heads towards the back. The vanilla's bright, but the fire's bright as well. I showed you the disco. The disco's bright as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just and again, the het influence also does
some things, yeah.
Something to it, yeah. So yeah, I can show you a disco that you'd think it's a normal, but it has the same head stamp as the other disco that I have. But some of the fires have that same head stamp.
Yeah.
So that's why there's definitely difficulty in IDing both of them, but there's definitely differences when the super is hit.
Gotcha.
That's where you see the differences, yeah. We're doing super OD, super disco, super chocolate.
Gosh.
Oh. All right, I see you.
Yeah, that's
super OD.
See, and that's where I want to get, right? If you get a bunch of supers, you're never going to produce a normal.
Yeah. No, that's the way. I mean, that's the direction you need you should be trying to go in.
Right. And I'm hashtag no normals. No normals.
Yeah,
So we're trying to get anyway.
absolutely. So what's next on your agenda? Do you see yourself even for networking, one table, getting the brand out there? What's next for the brand?
So I set my goal for this year, just attending California shows bare minimum.
Nice.
And I was supposed to attend the Sacramento show, but it turns out my daughter's studying abroad in Canada.
Oh wow.
So she finishes her semester at the college out there, and she happens to be we drove up there because she wanted a car, and we did a road trip up there. So on the way back, we have to drive back, and it just so happens to be that weekend of Sacramento show.
Man.
So we're gonna drive back to and stop in Seattle, and then I'll fly back from Seattle home on Sunday. So, but the plan is to hit all of my. I want to do the Super Show for sure in, I think it's Pasadena. Is down in LA, but vending,
Pomona, and then Anaheim.
Oh, Pomona, yeah, in Anaheim. But so I don't have enough animals to vend.
Okay.
So the other part of this is I may vend, but under the other business.
Right. How many would you say, quote unquote, animals as of right now do you have available?
5.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. But they're all disco combos, either Blackhead or vanilla. And then I have like a vanilla spotnose, head clown, vanilla spotnose, Enchi head clowns, kind of that kind of stuff.
And how many you're expecting this year?
I'm hoping to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, 8 clutches.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean,
small.
I started off small like that too, and then I went from 8 to 14. You know,
Yeah.
So and worked my way up from there.
Yeah, and then in the next season will be some of the ones growing up will come in, but then I'm gonna get rid of some of the ones that I bred this year because the Blackhead, the pastel Blackhead that I have, I don't need for next year anymore. The Enchi vanilla, I'm not gonna need anymore. But this year I'm breeding her to the Blackhead, the leopard red stripe double head clown, DG. So I want to see what vanilla does in leopard red stripe. So, but yeah, she'll be moved as well. So slowly I'm gonna start getting into only having produced all my females.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Yeah. But if I vend a show, it's gonna be under this new project that I got going on to promote it. Similar to like Shippy Reptiles or Redline, what they do at shows. It'll be that kind of vending rather than
Husbandry Pro. So they've been campaigning at shows.
Right.
Husbandry Pro. Yeah.
Same. Yeah. So that's why I see in this year, if I do vend a show, it'll be in that respect rather than snakes.
Right.
I don't have enough snakes right now. I'm producing for myself.
Right.
I mean, I'm always producing for myself, but there's very little excess. So
your total collection right now is how many snakes?
30 maybe.
Oh wow. Hey man, you're off and running though, man, because you got
still enough.
You got
30 good.
Very concentrated. It's very focused. That's what I like to see. Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike me, I was very unfocused.
Yeah, no, and that's on purpose. I really didn't want to grow recently. I didn't have the space or any of that kind of stuff. I do now. 2 years ago, I bought this house, so I have space now. But I didn't want to grow just to grow. I wanted to grow in a very very particular way. So and it wasn't even when I first started, when I got back into it, because it's been about five years since I got back into it, and it was it was focused, but I needed to wait to really expand, because I didn't have a spot, and I'm at that 5-year mark where now I'm setting goals for the next 5 years, next 10 years.
Yes.
So now,
yes. Love hearing that. Love hearing that. Set goals, 5-year goals.
So guess where we're at right now, right? You asked me what I'm doing. I'm gonna start expanding now, right, for the next. So I did it to a point where I have my females. I bred mine stuff. I have them, and if I want to, or when I'm ready to expand even further, when I get the next rack to do so, I'll be in a place where I can add certain things to really focus on what I'm trying to focus on now.
Makes sense. Oh shoot! I think Darren he have some racks for sale too. He buying more racks. So
once I get the FB40s,
I'm
gonna start trading these ones out for FB40s.
Nice. So those are the
70s, 70-30s.
Yes.
But
these ones, 2 of them are 11 high, so there's 33 tubs, and the other one. So like you were saying, you can go up.
Right.
You can go up, and that's.
Go
I mean, I could go another level. I could do another level, so 12 high. But we short people.
I was gonna say that's always good.
No. So you know those ladders that they use at the library that you slide from side to side. Dang, Will, that laugh was a little too hard. Sir, I'm gonna have to have you tone that down a little bit. Hey, I'm not kidding you. I'm looking at tracks for the ceiling so I could put some sort of some ladder system in here. Like
ladder system where it just slides back and forth. You're like, go to one end, go back to the other end.
I need to be able to reach those top racks. I can't. Shoot.
Oh man,
little people problem.
I did buy one of those ladders. We'll post it up.
That's what I'm talking
about. Amazon.
It's nice.
Amazon has it, but it folds out, and you know how like most of them, you step on that last step. There's something right here. No, this one doesn't have that last step. The last step is everything, and it goes up higher. So you're just sitting at that, and it's a nice little platform on it too.
That's exactly right. We got you over here laughing, Wiz. You're welcome. Tune in for some laughs.
Yeah,
but it is like
I'll wait for that one.
I even got some. Even the rack that I have right now. One of the racks that I built. I can't really look into the top one.
How tall is it? 4 feet?
Yeah, well, that's kind of fucked up, but yeah. I mean, I have a little I have a little step ladder that I jump on if I want to really look in there. I have a little step ladder to get in there, and I'm like,
there you go.
It's all right. It's all right. Look. So when I go visit Darren, I'm gonna put him on my shoulders. He's gonna check the top ones. I'm gonna check the bottom ones.
You know what? Hey, I just thought of this right now. Her collector is doing, a tour of like everybody. He's doing series for everybody from Florida. He's gonna have breeders from Florida come on. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look for all the short breeders, and all the short breeders are gonna come on, and we're gonna talk crap to Will. That's what I'm gonna do. Short people unite. 5-2
Let's get
crew.
it.
Let's get all coming in.
I'm for it. Hey, 4 of us can take you, Will. 4 of us about as tall as you. Don't worry about it. And you know what? Statistically speaking, there's probably more short people than there are tall people. So you better watch out, Will.
Yeah, gotta watch my knees. Watch my knees.
Yeah, hell yeah. Ankles and the knees. So like the little chihuahuas, they're little ankle biters.
But it's true. I do gotta tone it down because y'all little people are strong. I will say that.
Yeah, being lower to the ground.
Yeah.
Hey, and on top of it, we were wrestlers, so
I was wrestling too, but y'all force down there,
Yeah, no, your center of gravity is a little taller. Like we don't have very high center of gravity here.
Yeah. Got a good base. A good base.
Then y'all both crossed that threshold. Y'all got that old man strength now.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And they say the last thing that goes is your strength, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh, you guys are cracking me up. This is awesome.
Oh, Smaze Serpents. That's usually how it goes, but me and Darren are the short ones. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, I need a sponsor. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey,
like,
how tall's
KG?
How tall's KG?
Oh man, yeah, he up there. Yeah,
He's 6-something because his son's like 7'2" or 3 or something like that.
Oh
So
shit! Where do they find these people?
man.
selectively breeding. KG was a product of slavery.
Selectively bred big boy.
He was selective breeding. He didn't even know he had the extra gene back there. You're gonna throw somebody colored in him.
Dang.
That's hilarious.
No, so I don't know what happened with Darren, but I'm Latino, so we're not very big down there. You know what I mean? We gotta stay small.
My mom's 4'11", so I'm taller than my mom. My mom's 4'11".
Yeah, my mom. Well, my mom's shrunk a little bit. I think she's 4'10" or 4. She don't like to say she's 4'9".
Yeah, see, that's and my mom's 65 now, so you know she's shrinking a little bit. She says.
Yeah, my mom's right about the same age. She little. I go to hug her and I feel tall as shit. I'm like, yeah, I need to be around you more.
When we take pictures, I'll be like, yeah, mom.
Hey, so get this. So whenever I see a little person, like a real little person, and I take picture because I'm like, man, there's not many people who are shorter than me, so
I gotta get it in.
I feel, and so I'll go stand next to him just to feel tall and shit. Like, oh, this is how it feels.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, hey, so yeah, the plan this year. Let's see how. Well, the YouTube channel is another expansion piece in that puzzle, right?
What is your official schedule as it pertains to your YouTube lives or video drops, including your Instagram? Like, what do you have planned out, mapped out, so everybody watching can start tuning in?
So I've set, and I think I have a good schedule. I don't think it conflicts with anyone. So Sunday at 3, and then Tuesdays at 6.
Okay. Pacific time.
Yes.
Okay. So Tuesday 6. All right. So that's
6.
9.
So you got a live today, don't you?
Yeah, I'll do live here in a little bit.
Oh,
so
wow.
and on Tuesday, what I'm trying to do is have you guys heard of the bully cats?
No.
Man, you sent me something on that. The little short little things.
The bald ones,
finks, right?
The
they're finks. Yeah. So they're finks, but they're smaller, shorter legs. So they're basically an exotic cat. I mean, like an exotic bully, but it's a cat. So then they have these little short deformed arms.
Yep.
So a high rear.
Yeah. So it's two
two
genes. Exactly. That's it. They're called munchkins. Man, Will. I gotta stay true to my height. Like
we got
animals and people.
Got little animals.
Animals and people need to stick together. You know what I mean? I gotta give them their shine too. These regular tall ass cats, they get their shine. What about the little ones?
They're called.
No, hey, I'm not kidding. The breed is called a munchkin with the short little legs, and then the hairless is called a sphinx. And when you put them together, they're called the bambino.
Oh my goodness!
Oh wow! There's a gecko breeder I seen, and she posts them up all the time on Facebook, and I was wondering what they were. I was like, oh well, that was little, but now I know she's taking both of them, a regular one to a dwarf one. Got it.
Right. So
to make the bambinos.
Exactly, but you need the sphinx and you need the munchkin together to be able to get the bambino. Yeah.
And she has one. She had a sphinx, and then she has a bambino, and I was like, oh, that dude's little.
Little, and they come out looking. I mean, They're not very pretty when they come out. When they're born, they're ugly little things, but I can appreciate it when they grow. So I used to own a Munchkin kitten, which was a Himalayan seal point Munchkin kitten. Bro, man, hey, they can't run away from you all that fast. They can't jump too high. Like,
they're like
perfect. Yeah, they're like
jump like a fat cat.
Yeah, and the little engine that could, but they just can't. They try to jump on the couch and they hit halfway.
Well, isn't the definition of like a deformity?
Pretty much.
Yes.
And they're breeding for it. Well, exotic dogs, they breed for that deformity. They're breeding for the deformity because the dogs can't breathe right. They can't move right. They can't even run. They're sitting on tables and they're stacking them and they're dying, stacking them. They're falling over. Come on. Like, that's exactly what we're breeding for, is the flaws.
Oh, no.
They're
So I went to a dog show. It was probably a couple years ago now. They
so
have these
wait,
dogs.
Darren, you just admitted that, that's a flaw. So
oh shit.
Are you saying you're naturally flawed? Is what you?
No. Okay, hold on. Let's make the distinction. There's dwarfs and there's midgets, right?
Oh my god!
Hold on.
Which one can collect Social Security?
Anything under 410.
Anything under 410. Yeah.
Okay, anything under 410.
One is proportionate and one just has small limbs but the same size torso, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference. And I know these terms are not kosher, but little people, but there's two different kind of little people. and the dogs end up being the little people with the short legs but the normal sized body.
Oh my gosh.
Where Darren and I are like the short people but with proportionate bodies.
Yep. My arm lengths are fine. My leg length is fine.
We're like a 6 foot person stuck in a 5'3" body.
Oh my!
You know what I mean? So, but yes, they're deformed. You look at English bulldogs. They're like, how many deformities in one dog? Like, how many can we smash into one dog?
Oh yeah.
Right, smash face, a cork tail, the short limbs, a short back. It's all. But these dogs at this dog show, they had them on the table. They couldn't jump off that table if they wanted to.
Mobility is not there.
Yeah,
it's definitely not a working dog anymore. It's not a working dog. It's a dog that is basically for the couch. Yeah. Can't even play.
Oh, there we go. Let's go, D.
Putting in work.
Let's go, D. Dude on the sneeze. Oh my god.
Putting in work. Look at him.
He getting it in. You can't even hate on him, man.
That's like a little Mike.
Never miss an opportunity, baby. Never miss out.
Man, even that video you showed him running down the hall. I was like, hey, you can't be mad because he's fast as fuck, boy.
I tagged him on Facebook.
He ran down the hall in 3 minutes. I was like, what? 3 minutes?
I seen the one there.
What'd she say?
She said, yes.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
So we made a correction. They're little people. They're just two different distinct little peoples.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna get ready to go get some grub. We've been rocking out over 2 hours. What I want to do,
it's been a minute.
Get you to come back on after this season and show off some of your pickups, as well as your productions, and let us know overall how getting back into it and your season, came full circle. And also more availability stuff that you have that you're not going to be holding back, that you'll be letting go, increase the reach, find some cool, nice homes with some of these babies that we're all producing. And we can all do this together, share all the platforms. Because Pete, you obviously have way more disc. I think we have one disco animal here. So you have a lot of stuff that we don't have at all. So, and it kind of shows you how everybody can do this and be in their own little lane. I really, really like what you're doing, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. I enjoyed this. This is like the dogs. I enjoy talking animals, so I'm all about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
And laughing, like, I'm all about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, cool. It's a great time.
Do you have a morph market yet? Like an actual?
I do, yeah.
Okay, cool. So when you do start having stuff, do you have what you have available posted on morph market already or no?
Some stuff, not all of it. Like that vanilla disco male, he's on a morph market, and I pulled
hitting you up for that. He's disco, so
I think he hit me up, but I also that disco female that I showed you, the hatchling, I put it on hold because I was thinking about, like, man, should I keep her? Should I not?
Yeah,
whatever. I already have a single gene disco.
I do that all the time, but I need to.
Yeah,
I gotta get over it. Let it go. Let it go. You're not gonna use it. You're not gonna use it. You're just gonna have it. Yeah.
But I put on hold, but then I put them out as a trio, like the disco vanilla male head clown with 2 females, and see if they'd move as a group. Someone get a nice head clown group.
I think I seen you post that. I think I seen it.
With the disco, with everything having disco, so possibility of producing super discos and everything, with the possibility of producing a clown. But most everything's on there. If not, they can hit me up. Morph Market, Edge of Panic, Ball Pythons. You can find me on there. Same thing as Instagram and YouTube, all the same.
Awesome. There you go, guys. Go over there to Edge of Panic. Go give Jose a follow and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Sundays and Tuesdays, he's dropping content and lives. I know he's interviewed Darren. I've jumped in. He has a really, really interactive way that he does his live. Very, very different. He's doing call-ins and everything. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Doing the call-ins too. So the people texting, we can turn around and call in and talk.
Yeah,
right.
So that's like another avenue where you don't really see that too much in the ball python game as far as the podcast goes. So definitely keep that rocking and rolling. We're gonna start to everything you have.
I appreciate it.
He's calling in like a radio host. Go ahead.
Then I can hang up on you or mute you and like, hold on. I'm just kidding.
Pretty soon you might have to screen some of them calls because you're gonna get some weird calls.
But it just gives people an opportunity who don't like being on camera to call in and
interact. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and interact rather than even being just in the chat where sometimes chats get things get lost.
Capital City, you should have him on like that because Capital City, he won't he won't do the live. Yeah, I tried to get him on everything. So
he got
being able to call in, he can add in, and he has some nice stuff too. He does.
He did live on Instagram. He just won't do live on Instagram.
Yeah, he did do live on Instagram,
but he won't do it on YouTube.
He won't do it on YouTube.
Yeah, because I think it's more. Was there more people on there? Was it just you?
When
he did the live on IG?
There was one other person. It was me, him, and another. He did it a couple times.
I mean, this would be 3 people, so it should be all right. But I can't get him to get on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I hit him up too, and he didn't respond. All good. Some people like, some people don't. No worries.
So this Tuesday, do you already have your show scheduled? What you're going to be doing? What's the topic or person?
Well, I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to confirm, but it's the Bully Cats.
Okay, it's the Bully Cats. Okay.
So it's not necessarily related. It's related because he too is in reptiles.
Right.
He was also in the dogs. Now he's in the cats. So kind of
the Munchkin cats.
I like the connections, right? The six degrees of separation, right?
Separation. Yeah.
We're not all that separated. So
right.
Bring someone in.
I was gonna say, Darren, who we got next as well? We got 2 weeks.
Apocalyptic Morphs.
Oh yeah, they're big. They're big brand.
He's in I think he's in Chicago. I think I'm not 100% sure.
Awesome. Well, that'll be an interesting show as well. So hopefully everybody has enjoyed this hilarious episode. And
Even though you're probably gonna get canceled.
Oh man, no. We made a correction. There's no canceling.
Definitely appreciate all you guys tuning in, watching, listening. Hit that button, hit the notification bell. Definitely hit that thumbs up. We appreciate you guys, and we will be seeing you in 2 weeks. Enjoy your Sunday.
Yep.